Good morning, everybody. This is Yibby. Um, Before I start, I just want to say I'm a little congested right now, so apologize in advance if I sound very nasally. I'm gonna try not to sniffle too much. Um, but Welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be doing an illustration in my sketchbook. But before that, I just wanted to flip through it really quickly and show you some of the pages I've been working on. I haven't done too many pages just because I've been a little bit busy, but I have tried to make time to draw on it when I can. And again, I'm only using the tools I have around my house, which right now are just Crayolas and Crayola markers and some pencils, like number 2 pencils. And that's really it. And I'm going to use those same supplies on my illustration, and I'm not even going to use the markers. I decided to really only keep it to crayons because I don't know, I like the way they look. I like they almost have this kind of pastel effect when you get the shading just right. So as I start my illustration, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about my sketchbook first, and some of the things that I've been using it for. As you might have seen, I had a bit of a weird, kind of creepy drawing in there, and sometimes I get into these weird moods, or I just feel a little down, and I feel like I have to draw something strange or odd or creepy, just to get the feeling out of me. And sometimes I just really like to draw creepy things, so that's kind of what those drawings were. I was kind of out of ideas. Like, the sketchbook has been a little slow for me so far, but I'm actually really glad for that, because I actually wanted to show what it's like to start a sketchbook when you don't really know how to. This is my first sketchbook in a long time, actually, and I know in my last video I spoke about having a lot of sketchbooks with me like my whole life. Well, the past maybe like 2 years I haven't had a sketchbook, and it's really sad because they've always been very special to me, but I just haven't had the energy, and I went through a bit of burnout when I was working on a lot of art for a while, so I kind of took a break from it. And I used to go a lot of places. Now I stay home more, so there's less of a opportunity for me to take my sketchbook out and do life studies or people drawing, things like that. But with this sketchbook, I am determined to use it more often. So now I guess I can talk about a little bit about this illustration. I kind of had it in my head for a while that I wanted to draw a little mouse character, but I didn't really know what to do. Originally, I had the idea that she was in the rain, but I don't like drawing rain, so I decided, maybe she's looking up at the sky or something. And then I had the idea that, well, maybe she's in a forest and she's catching a raindrop, and I really liked that idea. So I really just followed my small thumbnail that I made in the corner, and I did a little bit of character design just really quickly. I knew I wanted her to be very colorful. I love drawing colors. Right now I'm a stickler for purple and pink, and I don't know why. I think it's kind of becoming my brand colors, I guess you could say. I'm starting my own little sticker business, and hopefully I will have more up on my shop soon. But besides that, I wanted this piece to be very colorful, but I always have to do it my step-by-step way, which is of course pencil, inking, color. I think it's just always been in my head to do it in that way. And if you are a beginner artist, I think it is important to try different styles. It's important to experiment and be creative. But a tip I have is for those who are quote-unquote looking for their style, the biggest tip I have is to find a process that you enjoy the most. And I often find that is a really great way of finding your style. For me, I have specific tools and colors and things that I enjoy using whenever I'm drawing. When I was younger, I hated coloring. I did not like to color at all. I only used pencil and drew in black and white. And I loved colors, don't get me wrong. I always admired a beautiful painting that was vibrant and colorful. But for me, black and white has always been what's called to me. It makes sense to me. And I think that's the biggest thing about art is you need to draw and you need to make what makes sense to you. And pencil made sense to me. So for the majority of my younger years and learning, I learned how to shade and I learned how to use values and things like that. However, there was a drawback. When I decided I wanted to learn how to color, I was completely lost. I had no idea how to use color theory. I didn't know where to even begin to learn. And I was an artist who was always studying and always looking for ways to learn on my own and improve my skills. So I spent a lot of time watching tutorials and YouTube videos and things to help me improve and get better. But color was still my biggest challenge. And I find that the reason may be because I think too much about it, because I put too much effort into thinking, well, does this look right? Does this look wrong? Where when I'm drawing with pencil, I have a natural intuition for it. But I have never let that stop me from using color. I have found my own ways to experiment and my own ways to draw and my own process that works for me. So over time, the more I just played around with whatever kind of tool I had, watercolor, color pencils, crayons, markers, I would just draw and draw and draw, and it was just a hit or miss over and over and over again, and eventually it just kind of clicked. Now, there are much better ways to learn color theory. There's a ton of videos out there, there's a ton of tutorials and great teachers out there who are willing to teach for free, color theory. And I was very stubborn, and I was one of those people who always thought, well, I can teach myself how to do all these things. And I have a little bit of regret for that, because I think it's important to open up your mind when it comes to learning. And I think learning is one of the most important tools you can have in your arsenal of being an artist, is the ability to learn. And as somebody who has a disability, I have bipolar 1, and it makes things a little bit hard for me when my emotions don't let me or allow me to work the way I want to work. Sometimes I go into depressions and I can't focus on anything but, the woe is me, and how can I be a good artist, and how can I make art that is beautiful and vibrant when I don't feel that way personally? And how can I learn if I can't even do simple things for myself? Why would I bother learning something new when everything is already very hard? But that is the beauty of a sketchbook, and that's why I love them so much, because a sketchbook does not judge you for your mistakes. It doesn't judge you for the little things that you mess up on. A sketchbook is a safe place you go where you need to unwind and let your thoughts out and be free with your art and not be afraid of somebody judging you. And if somebody takes your sketchbook and looks through it, you know what? Shame on them. And it's hard. It may even be hard to come back from something like that, but don't ever let it stop you from being you and making the art that you love. Let your sketchbook be something that says, this is what goes on in my head, and if it scares you, then that's your problem. And that's how I've always been with my art. I think it's important to share the things that are strange and weird, with yourself, and a sketchbook is that place where you can go to do that. And again, it's not going to judge you, it's just going to let you let out whatever you're feeling in that moment. And as beautiful as I find this drawing, I feel as though it's the first time in a long time where I've allowed myself to let myself draw something that is colorful and pretty and makes me feel good emotionally when I look at it. When I see the colors, it makes me feel nostalgic because these are colors I chose based off memories that I had, going camping or being out in nature. But I've definitely had much darker sketchbooks that I would put away once I'm done with them and probably never open them again, but they're there and they served a purpose for that time. With this sketchbook, I want to create something that is important to me and something that makes me feel good and something that I can share with anybody who's watching or willing to watch my process and hear my ideas and hear my stories. And I appreciate anybody who does. But anyways, I've been talking pretty much nonstop, so I'm sorry if I am annoying you at this point. You just want to watch the video and it's already at the very end, but I thank you for joining me, and this drawing was a lot of fun, and I want to make more art like this, and I'm excited to show you what I have next. I'm also excited to find out what I'm gonna draw next because I have no idea. But I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay safe. I hope you take care of yourself and keep drawing and don't give up on what you believe in. Thank you for watching.